before we do, okay. If you guys haven't got your requests or review requests, please follow us on social media in the link in the description below. Don't forget to subscribe, and let's dive on in. Let's go.
We were waiting for this for a while because, like, when WandaVision came out, we were looking forward to an episode every week with Captain America now. We were looking forward to that all week. And so now we're back to Wednesday. It was going to be Fridays, wasn't it?
It was going to be Fridays, then they switched it up to Wednesdays.
They moved it up to Wednesday.
And I think it's because, like, their movies are starting to come out. Because we're about to have Black Widow, Shang-Chi, Eternals, Spider-Man. It's about to ramp up finally. So we're excited for that.
But one thing I do like about these Marvel shows is that each one has a different feel.
It does.
WandaVision was more like, sitcom-y for a bit. Until we finally got to the stuff that we got into. Yeah. Then Captain America was more like actiony and everything, and this one, I feel like this one is going to be more emotional. Maybe. Yeah. Than the other ones.
I don't know. I thought WandaVision was pretty emotional. Really? I thought it was. When he said that line, what is grief without love persevering? That line that's a bar. That is a bar. So I think WandaVision got the emotional aspect. Captain America, Falcon and the Winter Soldier has the politics.
Oh, no. Okay, I'm back again.
This one's gonna have the fun. I think this series is gonna be the best one out of both of all of the ones that came out because it doesn't have to deal with no like grieving or anxiety or none of that stuff. Well, a little bit. Because this episode, they did have little elements to it. First, we're going to start the episode off where he was
we're not going to just do a whole summary.
No.
We always do summaries.
Yeah, we always do summaries. We're going to do a short summary. Yeah. Basically, when this episode starts off with him going to Mongolia and getting the Space Stone. And then the TVA just pops out of nowhere.
Well, that was the part where he stole the Tesseract and he had a good point too because the TVA, they're responsible for getting everybody
order to the sacred timeline.
Keeping order to the sacred timeline, which is basically all the timelines they said put into like one.
Yeah, because he said there was like a point in time where the three space lizards. There was like a whole bunch of multiverse. Then there was like a multiverse war. I want to know more about that.
Yeah,
but it all converged into one singular timeline after that war happened. So I really wonder what's gonna happen.
If the fight continued, then it would have been like everything would be gone.
Yeah.
I'm back, y'all.
They brought it all into one sacred timeline. And keep saying that instead of like the timeline.
Also, they dropped Nexus.
Yes.
And we know
a Nexus event, is that what they call it?
A Nexus event.
Yeah.
And we know in WandaVision that she is a Nexus level being. So she has the power to thus I think she's gonna create another multiverse.
Yeah, well I think this show is gonna lead us up or give us clues to like Doctor Strange's multiverse of madness. That's what I think that this is all kinda like leading up to. Because they did say that like if you divert from the sacred timeline, then you become a variant, and then that causes like a multiverse, like
conundrum. We just call it conundrum.
Yeah, thing happening basically, and I'm excited. I'm excited to see everything.
Yeah, I'm excited to see everything. The episode. So we basically saw that the Minutemen are getting basically killed by Loki. And I think it's gonna be the female version of Loki because Loki is gender fluid because he's able to shapeshift. So he would of course be able to bend his body to whatever he wants. So I think it's like a female Loki that he's gonna have to find and figure out why they're doing it and everything like that. I just find from an emotional level like him looking at himself die and stuff like that. Yeah. And then because I think that
was him looking at the time that he was supposed to be in. Yeah. Without him stealing the Tesseract, and he saw like how he dies basically.
Yeah, and
seeing that his family actually cared about him.
That was so dang sad, bro. Like his mom, and then he's seeing his dad die. Then seeing himself die, and then like him and Thor like having a relationship. Man, it was so. I was about to cry, bro.
That, like I love you, my sons.
I
know. Just Thor. Like I love you too.
I know, bro. Yeah. I was about to cry, and then it was like he was like, I don't enjoy hurting people,
that he has to do and stuff.
Yeah, because I think he feels as though he is like a small. You know what I'm saying? He's like, I don't have no control. I feel small, so therefore. If I do this, then I'll feel bigger. Yeah, you know what I'm saying? And then, it was just crazy. And then the craziest thing about that episode was the Infinity Stones, though.
Oh, yeah. I understand now. Because, like, when we was watching the episode, like, and they're, like, I'm gonna call it a realm. Their realm of like the TVA and where they're at. They say that magic and things like that doesn't work
there.
Because Loki, when he was getting sentenced, like, you know, he was in court, he tried to use his own powers and that didn't work. And technically he's a god, so like that didn't work. So when you look at the stones, he's like, where did you get these? And they're like, oh, some use it as paperweights and stuff. It's because they literally do not have any power at all. It's just jewels at that point.
It's just jewelry at that point.
Yeah, it's just jewelry. So so he looked at that and he was just like, what is the point of all this stuff?
Yeah.
And the thing that gets me though is because like people they talked about like how
Yo, bro, when is it gonna be?
Well, I think that Loki had a very good point when he was trying to plead his case in court.
Yeah.
They're like, oh, he's guilty for, you know, deviating from the sacred timeline and things like that. And then he was like, well, you should be mad at the Avengers because had they not done what they did, I wouldn't have been able to steal it. And he had a point.
He said, the funniest thing was when he was like, obviously they went to go back in time travel so they could stop me from having my glorious purpose of taking over the world. And so you were right though, like
I'm like, technically he's right. He's like, why aren't you going after them? Why are you going after me? And then they're like, oh, that's because they're supposed to do that and you're not supposed to do that. And that begs the question, like and he did ask, like, well, who gets to approve if what I do is wrong or what they do is right or whatever like that, according to the timeline. And they're like, oh, well, it's according to, you know, the time lords, the 3 time lords or whatever like that. And then they're like, so what do you do? And
right, I dictate what the time.
We dictate what the dick lord. I said that's
what? the Time Lords.
The Time Lords.
What you got? The Time Lords, you know, dictating.
They dictate what the Time Lords dictate.
Tell them to dictate. Yeah, there we go. Clean it up for you. Anyway. Basically, so it's a lot of dictation going on.
And I like Mobius. Mobius is so like funny to me. Like I love his whole attitude.
Owen Wilson.
Yeah.
I didn't even notice that was Owen Wilson because I haven't seen him in a long time.
His hair is short. His hair is short. And it's so weird because like his face aged a little bit, not too much.
Yeah.
But like his voice sounds exactly the same. So when I heard his voice, like I recognized who he was after I heard his voice. But like you're used to seeing him with the blonde, long hair, not like dusty peppered like white short hair.
Gray hair and stuff. Yeah, it's just crazy. And then you know, it's interesting how their powers work with the little time. I don't even know what to call it, like a staff stick. The enforcement stick.
When they hit him in slow motion.
Yeah.
That was so cool.
I was like,
I thought the whole scene was in slow motion, but it was just him. She was like, yeah, you're moving at like a
1/16th of a second. I'm like, dang. I thought it was just him getting hit and they just being funny about it. No, boy,
this
slow.
is just you.
You're slow. And then also they had that, like, the thing about how, because they said when they was going in there, they said a scroll was in there.
Yep.
And then they used that other dude.
I don't know how. Was a deviant. I don't know how the other dude got in there. They did say that
if you're late to work, I'm like, how am I messing the timeline if I'm late to work?
Yeah, and it's like, how am I supposed to know if it's wrong? Like, if it's based on small things like that, it's like, okay, how am I supposed to know that I'm deviating from a timeline that I don't even know, like, is the right sacred timeline or not? Like, how am I supposed to know? Because every choice leads to a different path that you make in your life. So it's like, how am I supposed to tell that I'm doing the wrong one if I'm in the present? Like, how am I supposed to know?
But yeah, you basically get reset, and I don't know exactly what it means, but it looked like you get destroyed.
I think that means that they just put them back to where they were supposed to be, and make them do the thing that they were supposed to do.
Yeah.
That's what I think it means.
Yeah, because one of the TVA enforcement agents was like, you got to reset that variant.
Yeah.
And he was like, you want to reset everybody. No. But now they got an issue because when the Loki's is out, when the deadliest variant. Destroying them, yes.
Yeah.
Yeah, because they had a part where they went to Saline, Oklahoma in 1858 or something like that, 1800s. And there was like oil, and the Minutemen was like, oh, let's just reset it. But then it was like, that's the Loki. And that oil was set up for y'all. And she killed him, or he killed him, or whichever version. Right, because they had the dang dark cloak.
Yeah.
And they had that mysterious gum. They had the scene in church where they had the mysterious piece of gum with a K and with that little girl, and they had to reset everything. Little boy. And they had to reset everything. And I'm just like, I'm just like, it's a lot. We still got a lot to learn.
Yeah.
Yeah, but as far as the episode, I give it a 9 out of 10.
Yeah.
Only reason I don't give it a full 10 out of 10 is because I feel like that with the thing with the Infinity Stones, I'm like, aren't they supposed to be like the strongest thing in the universe?
But they don't have any power there.
They don't, and that's why I need to understand. That's the only thing that I'm disconnected, because it just feels like Black Widow died for them Infinity Stones. Yeah, Tony died for those Infinity Stones, and you telling me these TVA agents are like the Eternals, and they could have came in and did, put the timeline.
Well, by their logic, they're like, that's supposed to happen. So
I've been playing MLA for a week now, and
that's why they don't do anything or whatever.
And then I think Loki's thought now process is like, if I become like the ruler of the TVA or whatever like that, because I think that's the next goal. Mm-hmm. After he saw Thanos choke him out, he was like, glorious purpose. And he was like, if nothing works here and I can control here, then I can control everything. So I still think he might have a hint of bad in him. Yeah. But, seeing your life flash before your eyes, literally,
especially seeing you die.
Seeing you die the way you died, and then everything that, I felt so bad for Loki, man. I was like, I was about to cry. I was like, man, whew, it was such a good dang episode, man. I'm excited for this series. I think it's gonna be the best one.
I feel like it's gonna be a good.
But what's your rating? You didn't give your rating yet.
Oh, I don't have no complaints. Like 10 out of 10.
You give it a 10 out of 10?
Especially because the credits, they didn't do 9 minutes of credits. Like they just did 5
3 minutes,
or less than 5 minutes.
Yeah, 4 minutes. I'm like, there you go, Disney.
They gave episodes.
There you go. Just cut it off. You don't have to make us sit there for 10 minutes because y'all like to do post-credit scenes. Y'all learning. Thank you. Yeah. Because that 10 minutes of credits was stupid. I'm like, y'all tripping.
Right.
Why I sit here and look at I thank you for everybody that make it, but no, we gone. Thank you. We gone. But yeah, I give it 9 out of 10. You give it 10 out of 10. Loki episode 1 was good. I'm excited for next Wednesday where we get episode 2.
Yep.
And I really hope it just usually it starts to ramp up.
Well, I'm pretty sure that next episode is going to ramp up. This one's kind of like introductory.
Letting us know what's going on. And I also love the aesthetic of the TVA, 70s, 80s themed.
I say 70s.
More 70s, but I love all the vibe and the technology that they have. It is so dope, man. I'm excited. Anyway, guys, comment below.
Don't forget to like and share.